I mean, it's better than the first. Okay, but seriously, I literally just got home from the FNAF movie and saw that with some friends on a Friday. And as soon as I got home, I decided to write this script. For those who live under a rock, the FNAF 2 movie just got out. And we saw for the first time Toy Chica on the big screen. And I enjoyed so much the experience that I definitely have something to say about it. First of all, I almost didn't watch the movie because a teacher decided that it would be a good idea to assign the presentation on the date that I was going to watch the movie and tell the class like 2 days before the date. When me and my friends scheduled to watch the movie like, I don't know, a month before. Just for the motherfucker to cancel the presentation like a few minutes before the class started because he couldn't go to the school that day. But it was fine since we scheduled it to watch a bit earlier in the day because a friend of mine, he had to go to a class that he had at night. Which was definitely a shame since I really wanted to see a more crowded theater. It was like me, my friends, and 2 other groups watching it. Just a bunch of grown men watching the FNAF movie. Also, this is more like an afterthought about the movie. If you didn't watch it yet, please go watch it. I don't want to give you any spoilers about the movie. Or if you don't care about it, just proceed with the video. But if you go, please check out my other videos, please, you know. Also, I almost didn't make it in time for the movie. I confused the mall we were going. There was like 3 malls on my city. And I thought they were going to one that was more accessible via bus. And they were going to another. And I had to change the trajectory when I was arriving at the other mall. When I finally arrived at the right mall, I got lost because that mall was big as fuck. But I eventually made it in time, just where the commissions were playing. But enough of my experience, let's talk about the actual movie, you know. Yeah, as I said, it was way better than the first movie. Like, we already started with a murder, which actually kind of set the tone for the whole thing. Kinda didn't make all sense in the world, but I saw a comment on a video that was saying that if the child that possesses Puppet was mute, it would make more sense for the parents to ignore her. Which is true, but anyways, you can forgive some of the stuff. The tone wasn't like heavy though, it was more like a kid's horror movie if you feel me, you know? The overall story had way more stuff than the one on the first one. And the puppet was amazing, I loved the practical effects done. They added like a possession trait to the puppet, which was implemented fairly well, but it begs some questions. Is it like Ennard that he enters the body from like a cavity or maybe your mouth or something? That he is physically inside the host? Because that was the impression I got on the first possession on the movie of the like irrelevant blondie that joins the movie just to be cute, you know? It's a trope that never gets old. Because if it is, where is she entering from in the end here? Like, there's a scene in the end where Vanessa was with her back turned to the puppet and the puppet possesses her, which makes me think a bit, you know? I think it was more like a spiritual thing anyways. I don't think it was like a physical possession like Ennard, because if it was, the child would be fucking dead. But it's fun to think about this stuff, you know? The movie had some decent jump scares though, and a lot of goofy moments. There was a scene where Mike was on the first pizzeria from the second game, which we'll talk about this stuff in a moment, and Balloon Boy shows up, right? On the games, for you to get rid of him, you had to flash your lights to him, and he would just go away. But can you believe what Mike does to get rid of him? He fucking decapitates Balloon Boy. I shit you not. He goes around and twists his neck and fucking throws it on the hallway. To be honest, if the movie ended there, I would be more than happy with what I saw, you know. I would. Also, where the fuck are those pizzerias? I mean, they never gave like a sense of space between the two places. Some scenes they made it look like it's right over there, and in other scenes they make you thought it's like on the other side of the city, which I know it's not a big city, but come on, two fucking pizzerias of the same brand on like a small city too is like, you know. In the first movie they gave it this sense like the first pizzeria is kind of far, you know, by the way Mike, the protagonist, prepares himself to go to there, you know, and all this thing. But in the second movie it looks like it's right on the next street, you know, which, you know, it's not the end of the world, but it leaves me curious. Also, another thing is that they translated the gameplay way better than on the first movie. On a scene where Mike goes to the first pizzeria and he has to use the officer to track down the robot, I swear it makes more sense on the movie, don't worry. And the way that the animatronics are going to attack him was a very cool scene and translated the gameplay very well. Really gave that feeling of you watching someone play the game, you know?
Was that the bite of 87?
Also, the animatronics look very good. They really put some effort on the practical effects. I say this because on the first movie they look a bit different from their game counterpart. It's not too different, but they look like a Wish.com version of the animatronics that we know and love. Here they look exactly like the in-game models. I just didn't like the bloodshot eyes because they look their high. But again, their eyes look way better than the ones from the first movie. At least for me. The ending was decent too. Wasn't the best thing on the world because it had a few things a little bit forced to like separate the characters. But I mean, it's not the end of the world. Like, I had a blast when I heard It's Been So Long at the end. Man, it was so cool. And also, the goat, the myth, fucking Springtrap appears at the end credits. It was nice. You can see they put some love on it. Overall, was it a good horror movie? I can't say that. Is it a good FNAF movie? Definitely. Of course, it had a few cringe moments and some nonsensical decisions from the characters. And yes, cringe was a word that they actually say on the movie. Do whatever you want with this information. The conflict between the characters might feel forced sometimes, but trust me, I've seen way worse. As a FNAF movie, a solid 8. As a horror movie, a 5, maybe a 6 or a 7, because in the times it was bad, it was like fun bad for me. Not a life-changing masterpiece, but again, fun. And that's enough for me. If you didn't watch it and you are a fan of the franchise, you should definitely watch it. It's worth it. There's a lot of more stuff that I didn't talk about since this isn't a summary. I don't even know if we can consider this a review. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's not that well animated as my other ones because I wanted to make something more quick. I had another video coming up about some stuff that I found very cool on the internet. If you have anything to add, please, I wanna know. What was your favorite moment of the movie? If you could change something, what would you change? Please, comment down below. Leave a like, a hype, a crack pipe, and I see you soon.